Assalamu alaikum guys, and hello, welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. If you are new to my channel, thank you so much for passing by. Remember to hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever I release a new video. I release videos every Wednesday at exactly 10:30 a.m. Now let's get back. So last week guys, we covered the concept of industrial attachment, and I promised you guys that I'll talk about how you can write a good industrial attachment report, and the day is here. So today I'm going to show you guys how to write an industrial attachment report. But in this video, most of the times you won't see me. I prepared a blackboard for you guys, so after this we are heading back to class. So grab your notebooks, grab your pens, and pay attention so that you can write a winning attachment report. If you benefit from this video in any way, please make sure you hit the like button or engage by commenting and sharing with your networks so that you can help me get monetized. Oh my god, I'm asking too many favors, yeah? Let's get started. Before we get into the format of the industrial attachment report, I want us to note a few important things. Number one is that our industrial attachment report has to be within 16 to 30 pages. It should not exceed 30 pages and it should not be less than 16 pages. And the second thing is that the font size has to be 12 and the font spacing has to be 1.5 and the type of font has to be Times New Roman. So these are very important things that we need to note as we prepare our industrial attachment report. Now let's get into the structure. So we have preliminary pages and we have the real chapters, and then we have the reference. So let's start with the preliminary pages. So preliminary pages, these are the pages that usually come before the chapters. We are going to outline the preliminary pages before we go into them one by one. So the first preliminary page is usually the cover page or the title page, and the second part is the declaration page, and then we have the acknowledgement page, and then we have the abstract, we have the table of contents, we have the executive summary, and finally we have the list of abbreviations. So let's look at the preliminary pages one by one. The first page is going to be the cover page. The cover page basically covered information about my university, myself, and the organization at which I was doing my attachment. So number one thing we need to include is the logo of the university which I'm studying in or you are studying in. The second thing you need to mention is your school. So in my case it would be something like School of Science, Engineering and Information Technology. And the department will be Information Technology. The course would be BSc in Information Technology. And then after that we need to include the organization which we are working in now. And the first thing we need to include is the logo of the organization. You can also copy this from their website. And then the second thing is the name of the organization. It could be Kenya Revenue Authority, it could be Kenya Marine Authority, and then include the date which you started your attachment and the day which your attachment is supposed to end, and it should show that you did your attachment for 3 months. Then write your name, your admission number, your email, and the date of submission. That's all about the cover page. Now let's go to the declaration page. So in the declaration page, basically what you are saying is that you are testifying that the work contained in the report is your work, yeah. And what should be included in the declaration page is the statement that that is your work. It could be one paragraph, and then afterwards you have to include your name, a place where you write your name, your admission number, your signature, and your date. And also you need to create a space where your supervisor is going to write their name, the date which they are looking at your report, and the organizational stamp, a and also a place where they can sign. Yeah, so this is all about the declaration page. Now let's go to the acknowledgement page. So basically, in the acknowledgement page, you are appreciating everyone who has helped you during your attachment, so you can make it as long as you want. And now we are going to the abstract page. Basically, in the abstract page, you are explaining the essence of your report. What does it cover? And this should be in 3 to 5 sentences. Yeah. And then the next thing we can look at is the table of contents. Table of content is usually created once you are done writing everything. So you have to create a page for it. And then after that, we are going to the executive summary. So basically, the executive summary, you're supposed to give a brief introduction of the attachment, and then afterwards you're supposed to give a summary of what your report covers. What areas are you talking about in the report? Are you covering the organizational history? Are you talking about the organizational structure? Everything that you are covering in your report has to be highlighted in your executive summary. The next thing you need to do is to create a list of abbreviations, which is going to explain the meaning of the short forms you have used in your report. And that is it for the preliminary pages. Now, what you're going to look at next is the chapters. The first chapter is usually the introduction. When you're starting your introduction, you need a paragraph where you are basically introducing the concept of industrial attachment, saying why it is important and the time frame which it is supposed to take. And then the next thing you need to highlight is the purpose of the industrial attachment. Now this is a sub-chapter in chapter 1, and here you state the importance of the industrial attachment in point form, like what is the importance of the industrial attachment, and you can write 2 to 5 points. And then the other sub-chapter here is usually the scope. The scope basically shows what your industrial attachment has covered from the department which you are working in, like that's your scope, and also the time frame which you went through your attachment. Yeah, so once you write this, you're already done with the introduction part, and now you can proceed to the second chapter. The next chapter is the company's profile. So you're going to write the name of the organization and then give its profile. So first you need to talk about the company, like the basic about of a company. You can get this from the website, and then you give the history of the company. You can also get this from the website of the company, and you tell us the mandate of the company, which is the responsibilities of the company. You tell us the mission, the vision, the core values of this company. These are things that you can get from the company's website or ask anyone in your company. The second subchapter under company profile is the organizational structure. This basically shows how the company functions in terms of hierarchy. So you can get any organizational structure chart from the internet that relates to the organization, and then you just copy and paste it on your report. Yeah. The next chapter is discussion, and it has several subchapters. And the first subchapter requires you to highlight the significance of the attachment. You can write 5 to 6 points here. The next subchapter is called the description of duties, whereby you are supposed to highlight the different segments you went through in your attachment and the skills that you gained per segment. So for example, if you had a software, hardware, and networking department, you need to highlight each of those segments and talk about the skills you gained in each segment. And the next chapter you're supposed to talk about is the skills you attained. And this is basically a summary of all the skills you gained per the segments which you went through in that organization. The other thing you're supposed to talk about is the challenges you faced during your attachment. You can have 4 to 5 challenges and then you'll be good to go with chapter 3. The next chapter we have is the conclusion. So basically in the conclusion, you're supposed to talk about your general feedback based on your attachment. So you're going to talk about the skills you gained, the challenges you face. So basically it's just an overall summary of everything you went through and your thoughts about it. The last and final chapter is the recommendation, whereby you're going to write what you recommend this organization to improve or what they should drop based on you being in that organization. So once you write the recommendation, then you are basically done and you're supposed to go to references and you're supposed to do the citation, write every material you used during your report writing. You can also link my video because you've used it to do your research on report writing. So once you are done with the referencing, then you are basically done with your attachment report, and what you're supposed to do is to proofread your report and then take your work for printing and make sure you bind it and make it as presentable as you can. If you can do a colored printing, it would be much better and more presentable. So that is basically how you write your industrial attachment report. I wish you all the best in your assessment and I pray that you kill it and pass with flying colors. Alright guys, so this marks the end of this video. I hope you guys have benefited from this, and if you have any questions regarding to this topic of how to write an industrial attachment report, please drop your question on the comments below, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up, engage by commenting, and share this with your network so that you can help me grow. Okay guys, it was really a pleasure talking to you guys about this topic, and until next time, let's see what's going to pop up in the next video. Ma salam.